the value you bring to your clients, and the reason why you're in this room, and it's a credit to you, are the ideas in your head. We are professionals. We're knowledge professionals. And these athletes are exercising every day. What are we doing every day? And that question was asked by the gentleman up here on the left, and that's Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger was Warren Buffett's sidekick, has been for years. And he has some very interesting writing about learning and so forth and so on, a consummate learner. And early in his career, Munger was a very successful lawyer. And he basically was making a ton of money with great clients, just like your objectives. Right? It's a much smaller scale. Clients add value, fill up the time, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But he realized, I'm spending all my time with clients, I'm not getting smarter. In fact, I'm getting dumber every day. I might be adding value, but how much value can I add if I don't learn and learn new things? So Munger came up with this philosophy that guides his life to this day, which is basically sell myself the best hour of the day. Don't sell it to the client. The best hour of my day that he identified in terms of his learning, his energy, and so forth, and it had to work within his schedule, and it may not be an hour, but you get the idea. Sell himself the best hour of the day. Don't sell it to his client. Sell it for his own learning. So for all of us in this room, are we selling ourselves an hour, a half hour? What are we doing every day to get smarter? The guy I travel with, my colleague, my co-author, Bill Fisher, just an anecdote to illustrate the point. We travel all around the world together because at I.D.E.A. I do consulting for firms and run around and do executive education and all that stuff. And we travel around, and I'd be on planes, and he'd always know more than I did. Andy, did you hear about this CEO? Did you hear about this firm? What about this? What about that? He always knew more. Do you know people like that? People that always know more? And it drives you crazy. Right? They just know everything. And so finally I said, just shut up. But then I realized, wait, I said, Bill, how do you know all this stuff? He pulls out this big, thick stack of paper and said, here. I said, what's that? He said, well, every day I wake up, my apartment in Lausanne, and I go to the internet, and I go about 15 websites that I think have really important articles and ideas and information about what we're trying to do. And I scan them. I don't read anything. I scan. I find the article, click, 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 print, 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 print. I take it all, I shove it in a briefcase, because I know I'm going to spend time on a plane, so I read it all when I'm traveling. So I kind of have this big pile of stuff I'm always reading. I said, I don't do that. What do I do on the internet? I go to CNN, FN. I get depressed. I feel good. Right? All depends. I then go to ESPN. I'm a sports nut. I go to ESPN, and I never leave ESPN. I'm there, the Giants, the Red Sox, and I'm there, and I'm there. Great, I'm relaxing, fine. But guess what? I'm not getting smarter with my 30 minutes on the internet. Bill Fisher's getting smarter by what he's doing. He's selling him time, and he's becoming a better learning machine. So now I think about, how can I use the internet very effectively to learn? Small thing, but it's all those details. What can we do to learn? Can we sell ourselves every day, like those professional athletes, to fuel our brain power? A is for Agile. I-D.E.A, last point. Agile is manipulating ideas, testing ideas. And a great example is Picasso. This is his quote. It says it all. Good artists borrow, great artists steal. Was Picasso a creative genius? Was he just magnificent in art? The answer is yes. But he got his ideas elsewhere, including when he was at the height of his creative ability, there was an exhibition in Paris of these African war masks, and it was there, right near where Picasso worked, and then Picasso mysteriously came out with a masterpiece. And the masterpiece is that. Look up there at that painting, look what the faces are, where do you think he got the ideas? He probably got them from there. Now he denies it, but with that quote, it's pretty hard. So Picasso was always searching, and he was agile, one idea to another place. Declaration of Independence, I alluded to this earlier. I saw this a few weeks ago, so I put it in. This is the Declaration of Independence with all sorts of scribbles and words kind of wiped out. And this is Jefferson went through iteration and iteration before he got it right, and he tested it with a small team of the founding fathers, which leads me to my next point about being agile. And I've worked with some firms in the product design world that has to make, they're living on DNA of being creative and innovative, that have really affected how I think, out in Silicon Valley. And they came up and they taught me the value of prototyping. If you have an idea, I'm not saying you try it with the top executive team of the client right away, but test it. Test it with other people. Prototyping is the key to learning, is a key to generating new ideas. So much so that this is a picture of Edison's factory in Menlo Park. And that's what it looks like, and the big building in the middle was where he did all his work. And they asked Edison, the journalist, because Edison, they came all the time to Menlo Park. Edison was the single most famous person in the world in the late 1800s, bar none. And they said, Edison, what do you credit? What asset is your most valuable asset in terms of your creative and innovative prowess and all that you've done? What's your most valuable asset? So Edison took him out to a pile of debris behind that building, and it was just debris in the ground. And Edison was a famous practical joker, so they said, oh, here's Edison again. They said, Edison, that's a pile of junk. He goes, yes, that's a pile of junk. But we want to see your most valuable asset. He said, that pile of junk is my most valuable asset. That's the remnants of all my prototyping. That's where I failed. That's where I got my best ideas. And he understood how failure was a badge of honor and how it led to ideas. So prototyping is a fundamental component of being agile. Another part of agility I want to mention, which right here, it's why you're here, is networking. Networking.